Birds, Nature's Magnificent Flying Machines, written by Caroline Arnold, illustrated by Patricia J. Wine. Now, Dr. O is super excited about this book, and one of the reasons is that birds are such an important part of our environment, actually our lives. We tend to forget about birds. We see them all the time, and we sort of don't fully appreciate them. They're the one animal, if you think about it, the one animal that we see on a regular basis. So I hope that after listening to this book, we all pay just a little bit closer attention to the birds in our area. Notice the differences between those birds, whether it's color, size, beaks, what they eat, how they fly, you name it. So enjoy this wonderful book. Inside a bird's body. The large muscles that lift a bird's wings are anchored on the breastbone or sternum and are attached to the upper wing bone or humerus. The wishbone or furcula, which is flexible in some birds, is also connected to the breastbone. Lightweights of the world. Lightweight bodies help birds to be good flyers. If you jump off a chair, no matter how high you jump or how hard you flap your arms, you land on the floor. But when a bird takes off into the air, it is so light it can overcome the pull of gravity. A bird's skeleton is made of thin, hollow bones. The skull is also thin and lightweight, and instead of a heavy jaw with teeth, a bird has a much lighter beak without teeth. Another thing that makes a bird's body light is a series of air sacs that fill spaces between other organs. Most birds have 9 air sacs. They are connected to the lungs and help a bird to use more of the air it takes in with each breath. A bird's skull. Openings in a bird's skull help also to make it light. A bird bone close-up. If you cut a bird's bone lengthwise, the inside looks something like a honeycomb. This network of support strengthens the bone in the same way that struts help support a bridge. Designed for flight. Birds need wings to fly. Look at a bird's wings from the side. It has a thick front edge and a downward curve toward the back. The distance over the top is greater than the distance across the bottom. When a bird moves through the sky, the air at the front of the wing separates as it flows over the wing's surface. The air traveling over the top goes faster than it does across the bottom. That's because it must go a longer distance in the same amount of time. The difference in air speed causes a difference in air pressure. This pulls the wing at the top, pushes it from below, and creates a force called lift. Lift is what keeps a bird up in the air while it is flying. And incidentally, folks, that's what keeps airplanes also in the air. Wings for airplanes are designed the exact same way. Lift. If you hold a piece of paper by one edge and blow across the top of it, you can see how lift is created. The faster moving air on top of the paper pulls it up. Engineers use this principle, the Bernoulli effect, when designing the wings of airplanes. The more quickly air moves over the top of the wings, the more lifting power they have. One way that a bird can increase its lifting power is by tilting its wings to increase their curve. Feathers. Feathers are important for flying too. Long feathers on the wing, called flight feathers, make the wings bigger and give it shape. Tail feathers are used for steering. Short, smooth contour feathers cover the body and give it a streamlined shape. Short, fluffy down feathers lie next to the skin and help keep the bird warm. Most feathers have a hollow center shaft with thin hair-like strands called barbs on either end. The barbs are connected to each other by tiny hooks called barbules. This helps give flight feathers its smooth, airtight surface. As you can see here, a feather close-up, the barbule, the barb, and the shaft. Flight feathers. On the shaft of a flight feather, the barbs on one side are longer than on the other. Contour feathers. Contour feathers are short and compact with barbs of equal length. Down feathers. Down feathers have no shaft. The silky fiber grows from a common point. Molting. Have you ever found a feather on the ground? Once a year, a few at a time, a bird's old feathers fall out and new feathers grow in. This process is called molting. Wings. A bird's wings are its arms. The longest wing feathers, called primaries, are on the hand. These provide the power for flight as the bird moves its wings down in the air. The secondary feathers are on the forearm and give the wing its curved shape. The short tertiary feathers on the upper arm help make a smooth connection between the wing and body. Rows of short covert feathers go across the top of the wing and give it a curved edge. The bones inside the wings are similar to those in your arm and hand. In the bird's hand, though, the finger bones are connected. This helps make the end of the wing strong. The thumb bone at the front of the wing is called the alveola. Feathers attached to the alveola help direct the airflow across the wing so the bird does not stall or fall when it flies slowly. Preening. A bird needs to preen or clean its feathers to keep them smooth for flying. As the bird slides each feather through its beak, it is like pulling up a zipper. Any strand that were separated hook together again. While preening, the bird also spreads body oil over its feathers to make them waterproof. Taking off. Taking off from the ground is the hardest part of flying. A bird must flap its wings so fast that they will create enough airspeed to lift the bird into the air. This uses a great deal of energy. Whenever possible, a bird takes off facing the wind. The air blowing over the surface of the wings gives the bird a head start. Heavy birds have a harder time taking off than smaller birds do. A sparrow can fly right up into the air from a standing start. A gull, on the other hand, may have to run along the ground to gain enough speed for takeoff. Ducks paddle across the surface of the water to increase their takeoff speed. Herons bend their long legs and jump into the air. Eagles and vultures usually perch on cliffs or on the top of tall trees. Up there, they can spread their wide wings and catch the wind.